Welcome back, everyone. We do have very important updates today. GTA 6 leaked DATAMINE reveals plans for faction, procedural animation, advanced NPCs, and horses. And seemingly nobody's talking about this, so I will today. AI debug menu from GTA 6 suggests exciting mechanics, procedural animations as we see its changing environments. While studying the leak once again, I stumbled upon an AI debug menu in the game, which revealed an existing array of potential changes in game mechanics. This menu seems to be used mostly for testing mechanics, but based on the names of presets, we can get a good idea of what to be included in the game. There seems to be close to 200 different presets included in this debug menu. Sometimes, it just get unstuck from the game, but this one is much more important. Procedural motion. We recently discovered this patent. We know Rockstar is potentially making changes to the locomotion and animation system for GTA 6. The term procedural indicates a shift toward dynamic and adaptable character movements, aligning with patent's description of building blocks for diverse animations and to react to in-game conditions. This suggests that animation system in GTA might rely on procedural animations. So, what this basically means is, for example, and if I understand this correctly, is when you get hit by a train or when you get bit by a gator, it will be much more noticeable. Just like it was in Red Dead Redemption 2, if you got attacked by a bear, you did actually see the scar. So just keep that in mind that it's a pretty big thing. I could be going more into detail that in the future. Then we have emotional locker requests. Characters displaying emotions through their locomotion can add depth to storytelling and make interactions more relatable and engaging. So for example, if Jason was shot, well, guess what? If he's bad, you're actually going to be seeing that he's bad, like in pain. This seems to imagine the idea of building blocks for the locomotion system. You can see where Jason seems to be running away, almost stumbling, clearly threatened by something. In the developer logs, you can see building block intimidated being used, which clearly changes the rest of his animations. So for example, if Jason is being chased away, he's gonna actually be scared. He's not just gonna be a normal face. And I think this is what adds attention to the detail. Also have expressions. Now this is something that we saw in the very early stages of Watch Dogs 2, but it really was to the point where you couldn't really get any AI memory, and Watch Dogs 2 is now 10 years old. It was more of basically Watch Dogs was being animated in a way that someone was scared or like you flipped him off and then he just got mad and maybe started attacking you. Now here, we have expressions. So this could be expressing enhanced facial or body expressions, could be facial expressions similar to the ones in Red Dead Redemption 2. Gesture might suggest the introduction of additional gestures for character interaction with NPC in the game world. I think it's pretty important that you can flip someone off, wave to him, say hi to him, especially with how advanced AI encoding has gotten. I'm pretty sure that AI memory will be a big thing where people can actually remember you and you can come back to them. For example, if you rob the store, this is something that we saw in Mafia 2, the game. So for example, if you robbed the store and came back later, obviously the shopkeeper would recognize you and either call the police or tell the police it's you. So these presets aim to enhance the overall character animations and expressions. That's absolutely crazy, but this is the most important factor. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 had a lot of animals, but if you guys don't know, Florida has a lot of animals, especially horses. So we have gators, we have, all sorts of animals. And I think it's pretty important to see that, animals in GTA are something that adds life. We also have the black bears, panthers, rabbits, tree frogs, everything like that, even bull sharks. And when you look at it, the preset left over from Red Dead Redemption 2, we're not sure if this debug menu could have been used during Red Dead Redemption 2 development, potential focus on making in-game animals more intelligent. I am guessing they are going to reuse a lot of the, assets or code from Red Dead Redemption 2 because they already made a very strong code on hunting there and everything like that. And they're going to move it over to GTA 6. Then this is taming, allowing to perform bonds and utilize animals, changing the dynamic of gameplay. This is mostly for cats or dogs. I wouldn't be surprised if you can own a cat or dog. Excited to see how this one turns out. Might be mainly for horses, as Red Dead Redemption had a horse taming system. I think it's possible for both, actually. Like, most of the games have, pets. But it's also going to be something for Red Dead Redemption 2 horses, because Florida does have tons and tons of horses. And I think this is the most important factor. Now, Taming hints at the possibility of allowing players to form bonds and utilize animals, changing the dynamic of gameplay. Excited to see how this one turns out. Might be mainly for horses, and yeah, because the code already is there, I'm pretty sure this is already one and done. Flocking might suggest the introduction of flocking behavior in animals and crowd systems for added realism. Obviously, this is something that we already saw in the trailer by itself, where you had like tons of birds like trying to run away. So this is not something huge. Then we have horse avoidance, introduction of horses in GTA 6. Avoidance system. I'm guessing like how horses avoid you. I'm not gonna watch the video right now, but these presets can be aimed at reaching interactions with wildlife. Obviously, we saw gators, we saw Port Gellhorn, how it is. We saw grass rivers that we have in Red Dead Redemption 2 already, and I think this would be a chance. Then this is very, very important. We have AI memory, which means that NPCs actually remember you if you draw out the gun, if you keep following them, and decisions influencing their response to interaction. It could go also for missions. Like each character could have its own AI system. Now, persistent character could be also related to characters remembering their interaction with players. Might mean we see characters or NPCs that exist over a long period of time. So, for example, one guy selling ice cream or selling newspaper is going to remember you 6 months from now. Maybe as a vigilante or maybe as a hero. That you decide. But I definitely think this is possible that they will add more mini-side characters like they did in Red Dead Redemption 2, where there were random missions. Obviously, you never saw most of those characters, but it really adds to the story that these are real people that might never respond if you hurt them. Now, I think this is going to be a big thing that they're going to add a lot of these missions and small interactions in GTA 6 that people loved in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, with triple the budget or 6 times the budget, imagine how many more interactions we could have. Perception spelling. Characters will be able to smell the game, might be for animals. Some animals might be able to smell, but it could be also like some sort of waste where, the characters could like react to smell. So greets, there could be system from Red Dead Redemption 2 might return for GTA 6, or it might be just remnants of Red Dead Redemption 2 debug menu. These presets aim to enhance NPC interactions and memory, and then we also have factions. Suggest the expansion of the faction system from GTA San Andreas, making gang wars, alliances, and territorial conflict more central to the game's narrative. And I really believe there's going to be multiple factions like Port Gellhorn. There's going to be factions that we see from before. So, for example, like something like Vice City versus Port Gellhorn. And, while starting small in Port Gellhorn gas station, robbing, we would actually be moving up very fast. We also have groups, chance group dynamic affecting AI behaviors, animations, and interactions. That's something that we saw in Last of Us to be very complex. When someone was killed, the other enemy was super bad or actually reacting as a human, and I think this is like taking from a lot of games and just trying to improve it. This is definitely something that I loved in Last of Us because all of the interactions when you killed someone, it was not like, oh, this is a random enemy. This was actually someone that was alive for 40, 50 years and got shot by Ellie from Last of Us. So combat style might imply the introduction of diverse combats for AI characters, making combat encounters more diverse and challenging. NPCs could also have different styles depending on their role or group. Could also be different fighting styles similar to GTA San Andreas. General, these presets aim at enriching the complexity and diversity of in-game faction and NPCs, adding depth to the game's storyline interactions. Mechanics such as factions and fighting styles could return, so that's what we see right now. Obviously, then we have map scenes, which I can go quickly through. I should be going these on a single video, but dynamic map changes over time due to players' actions or progression, introducing evolving environments and mission opportunities. Elevators. So elevators are definitely something that we saw, before, but not really in GTA 5. If you enter an apartment, you would just like go to the second floor. Then you had avoidance areas, might apply the creation of dynamic avoidance for NPCs and vehicles to improve traffic and crowd management. So this is something that we saw in Cyberpunk. Some areas have way more people than other areas. And I think while this suggests that NPCs might change their route based on unexpected situations while driving, NPCs might, for example, look for alternative routes when faced with a traffic jam. And this is definitely possible. I definitely think this is, something that's fantastic. Like, for example, if you're blocking the way, they're not just going to try to drive over. They're actually going to go away and find a different route. These presets potentially aim at altering the game world, creating more interactive and immersive environments for players to explore. And then we have arrest info, potentially signifies a system tracking arrest-related info that could influence law enforcement dynamics and the player's criminal history. Wanted history could suggest the maintenance of players' wanted level and criminal activities history. And again, then we have stealth, we have relationships. Now, this is what's really interesting. This could be the relationship and that mechanic from GTA San Andreas, since Jason and Lucia are theorized to be already a couple, unless they're not. And this is very possible. Could just be the relationships in general between characters and NPCs, and like building up these relationships. People will actually start to send you texts or call you. I think this is more possible. Most likely indicates the return of special abilities for main characters, just like we had in GTA 5. So take all of these with a grain of salt, because some of these are in, Red Dead Redemption 2, and maybe this could be, for horses or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that Rockstar will add most of the features from Red Dead Redemption 2 to GTA 6. So I am going to be keeping you updated with this. I know it was a long watch, but I'll be making more videos on this if you guys want. And smash that like button.